Here's the real problem for the Democrats that are attempting to use the very, very corrupt New York court system to hold on to federal power. There is no evidence. I mean, when you look at this thing, man, line by line, witness by witness, it is almost impossible to believe that any self respecting prosecutor would bring this case. I mean, the witnesses in this case are some of the worst humans on the entire face of the planet. And they still can't seem to find a way to talk about actual crimes. And they haven't been able to talk about Donald Trump's involvement in any. And there's a pretty interesting thing that's happening. You know, it's starting to really look like there probably really wasn't even any sort of affair. It really is starting to look like there are a lot of crimes here, but Donald Trump might actually be the victim, which I think is surprising a lot of people.
We can check that off because the fact that Cohen is taking yet another oath itself was quite an attraction. And obviously he's going to get Cuisinarted on cross-examination. But it was really interesting before his testimony to watch this effort to get in the agreement of the accountant. That was such an obvious and dishonest move by the prosecutors. You have to wonder whether this judge is having second thoughts about his failure to stop this case, or at least force the prosecution to be clear about it. There's nothing stopping the prosecutor from calling that accountant. So the introduction of that agreement was clearly intended to suggest to the jury that they have some smoking gun evidence, but because of this agreement, they can't present it. That's entirely untrue. And so Merchant was right to say, I'm not going to let you do that. But it goes to how this is a Potemkin village of a case. They're proving stuff that's not in evidence while leaving suggestions of stuff that is in evidence with the jury. So the thing to keep in mind is when the prosecution wraps up its case, the defense will stand up and make a standard motion for a directed verdict to say that there's insufficient evidence to support a crime in this case. That's an extremely powerful argument because you've seen we're still debating what that crime is. Even on this network, you have people disagreeing as to what the theory of this case is, and the prosecution is about to wrap. Now, what the prosecution is worried about is that even Judge Merchant may just say, you know what, I gave you a shot and you didn't sink it, and so I'm going to direct this verdict. I'm going to issue an acquittal.
Honestly, I don't think that this judge has those kind of stones, man. If he were to do that, his daughter would probably never, ever speak to him again. But, I mean, who knows? Ashley and Joe Biden, they seem to still be okay. So, I mean, anything is possible, of course. But if this was any other judge, if this was any other defendant, a directed verdict would probably be a no-brainer. I mean, we're almost all the way through the state's star witness and still no real crimes. And nothing with Trump's actual fingerprints on it for sure, which, I mean, it's amazing stuff, man. Really, really amazing when you consider the fact that this is all happening in a city that has actual crime that is so out of control that the National Guard was sent into the subway to try to stop people from getting randomly thrown in front of trains. And they're spending millions and millions of dollars prosecuting politics, basically. But that's just my take, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.